The Italian tankers of World War II, known as the Carristi, stood out on every battlefield for their distinctive, almost elegant appearance, dressed in sleek black leather uniforms and wearing uniquely shaped padded helmets. They embodied both the daring spirit and the mechanical precision of Italy's armoured divisions. Their black leathers were strikingly stylish as they stood proudly in front of their tanks during parades and inspections. The style of the Carristi became an iconic symbol of the Regio Esercito's mechanised forces. The unusual domed leather helmets, complete with ear flaps, gave them a look unlike any other crews of the era, half warrior, half aviator. Whether rolling across the deserts of North Africa or advancing through the rugged European terrain, Italy's tankers carried not just arms and armour, but a distinct identity that reflected the nation's flair for craftsmanship and design, even in war. The Carristi were integral to Italy's armoured warfare efforts during World War II. These crews operated across several key theatres, including the deserts of North Africa, the Eastern Front alongside German forces, and defensive operations within Italy and the Balkans. The typical tank crew of a battle tanker at the time, the M1340, consisted of 4 with specialised roles, but Italian tank commanders often doubled as the gunners, taking on the critical task of aiming and firing the main gun while also directing the tank's operations. Other roles included the driver, who navigated challenging terrain, and loader, responsible for managing ammunition and maintenance within cramped conditions, and a machine gunner. The dual responsibility placed a heavy workload on commanders, reflecting both the design limitations of Italian tanks and the versatility demanded of their crews. Despite these challenges, the Carristi fought tenaciously across diverse and difficult battlefields. Teamwork and versatility were crucial, as crew members often mastered multiple duties, including radio operation and mechanical upkeep, despite generally limited training opportunities. The Carristi fought in harsh conditions, where their skill and coordination were constantly tested against better equipped Allied armour. One of the most iconic features of Italian protective wear for tankers was the helmet. These were cork-bodied, leather-covered Modello 1932 tanker helmets. This helmet was a black leather model with a 7-flap liner, air vents and a leather brow bumper, flaps over the ears and a neck guard. Tankers were often given goggles for eye protection, especially for desert operations, and gloves to protect the hands. To match the black helmets, tankers wore leather jackets. Here is a double-breasted 3/4 length black leather tank crewman's jacket with stand and full notched collar, domed black buttons, angled welt pockets over each front hip. Knee-high black leather boots were worn to complete the rather stylish outfit. The boots may have varied in style depending on unit and division. In the field, overalls would be worn underneath. For parades, it would be a military uniform. Of course, overalls and uniforms may differ based on the division and battalion the crew was part of. Overalls issued would depend on the theatre and conditions that the crew would be fighting in. Carristi, fighting in the deserts of North Africa, wore specialised tropical clothing made from lightweight tan or khaki material to cope with the extreme heat and sun exposure. This would consist of lighter, breathable fabrics. As the campaign progressed in North Africa, less tankers were wearing the black leather jackets, instead reverting to lighter tropical jackets, and helmets were replaced with light fabric caps. The Eastern Front would see tank crews wearing extra clothing and thicker fabrics to protect against the harsh winter weather. Overalls were of a different colour, a grey-green colour, or generally darker tones. Extra gloves and headgear may have been worn. Fur coats were an option too. Tankers were more likely to stick with the Modello 1932 helmets and leather jackets. You'll see many photos of the Carristi wearing bandoliers and holsters for holding ammunition and small firearms, respectively. I will talk more on firearms later in the next section of this video. Tank commanders would have binoculars and maps and other navigation equipment like a compass, especially for desert operations in North Africa. There is not much detail out there on whether the crews wore any other specialist belts, for example utility belts for maintenance tools. Maintenance tools were carried in the tanks, as tankers had a duty to carry out field repairs when possible, but whether the Carristi carried small hand tools I have not been able to confirm. No extensive survival and first aid supplies were issued to the crews neither. Mess kits, water canisters and canteens would be part of a tanker's kit, as well as personal rations, essential for all soldiers, whether in armoured units or infantry. I've seen photos of tankers with pouches attached to belts, probably carrying personal items for hygiene or possibly other luxuries to keep their spirits up. Could also be for ammunition. Sidearms were supplied to the Carristi. If we look at this photo from earlier, you can just see the top of the holsters on each of these crew members. Tankers were usually given a Beretta Modello 1934 pistol for personal protection. It was a semi-automatic pistol and was quite small and compact, ideal for the confined space within a tank. Often tank crews of nations were issued with submachine guns during World War II, however this was not a standard issue for most Italian tank crews, certainly early in the war. Possibly due to Italy's limitations on the supply of weapons, submachine guns would be prioritised for elite troops. If Italian tankers were issued submachine guns, it would be later in the war, possibly 1942 or later. A submachine gun common at the time would be the Beretta M38, but I have no clear evidence it would be used by the Carristi. It would be a very useful weapon to have for the tankers fighting in the Balkans, where anti-partisan work was the priority. Space was constrained in the small Italian tanks of that era, so likely going to be just the one issued if it did happen, probably to the commander of the tank. This is a photo of the interior of the M1340 tank, pretty small and confined space, so I can't see every crew member getting issued with a submachine gun. There was stowage areas in the tank, but they would be filled with equipment, spares and ammunition. There were also rifles that were standard issue for the infantry, but again no evidence that these were commonly given to the Italian tank crews. The Carristi would have access to hand grenades, although wouldn't be carried at all times. Hand grenades could be included with the supplies in the stowage of the tank. The Beretta Mod 35 hand grenade was standard issue for the Italian army. Other grenades may have been available, including anti-tank variants. Overalls and uniforms would also have added insignia to distinguish rank, such as tenente, lieutenant or caporale, corporal. This was usually a badge or patch. Badges or patches tended to be sewn or fixed to the sleeve of the jacket or overalls. The Italian tank crews certainly looked distinctive with their initial black leather outfits, but sometimes this style had to be replaced with practical measures to suit the conditions. The tropical overalls for the desert and the fur coats and headwear, a preference for the winters on the Eastern Front. Making sure that tankers always had adequate and suitable clothing and supplies in the field was a problem for the Italians and other nations. Logistics would be a target for the enemy, and environments could also be a challenge in getting supplies of clothing to the front lines. But the Italian Carristi certainly left a legacy of style, unique from other nations on the battlefields of World War II.